This is Ron Montag at the Southwest Railroad with a November 2025 layout update. Let's see what we've been working on lately. So we got some new lighting features going on the layout. Finally got around to installing the beacons on the Cargill grain elevator. So I kind of messed up the beacons because they're supposed to flash in unison, but I got the wires backwards, so that's why they flashing alternately. I need them to flash in sync. But it's just a matter of reversing the wiring. That's all that is. And I finally got the light inside to install. And I'm waiting on one more light for the interior because I had a cool white, which is too blue, and I didn't really care for that blue tone. So I'm waiting on a cool white, which is a little more dimmer and normal looking. So when that come in, I'll finish that and I'll redo that wiring for the what they call the aircraft anti-collision beacon or something of that nature, so the airplanes could see and don't crash into the building. And then I finally got around to installing the lights for the Universal Printing Company for the loading dock. The one light right there where the guys are standing, it's not actually mounted underneath the awning correctly, so that's why it looks like it's up against the wall, which it really is. So I got to correct that one, and that one's in place like it's supposed to be. But that's done, and I got one more project. Over here, that building is going to go because I really wasn't too thrilled with it when I put it in. So it's going to be replaced with this guy here. So that's what I'm going to be working on the next couple of days or weeks or whatever. But this is not going to be a trackside facility. It's just going to be a building that sits alongside the track, and it won't have those loading docks right there. Most likely I'll blank out the doors so you won't even know that it was meant for the trackside. But that's what I'm working on there. Stay tuned. Got some more updates. And one more other item I've been working on. So I finally got the interior lights for this power plant complete. I had lights in them. They was just temporarily, so they wasn't permanently. So now they permanently in place. Kind of did a little detail to the roof. I didn't want to get too carried away. And I do have some interior inside this building also. So this kit actually is in 3 pieces for the convenience of being able to add to it later on as time goes on. So the roof is separate. I can pull the roof off if I need to get inside the interior. And the building is not attached to the base. Like I said, that's 3 pieces because I wanted to be able to access it when I need to. And, you know, just convenience. And I also added one more feature. If you can see, there's a flashing beacon on the inside. It's about the best justice this camera do. Don't ask me what the beacon means, but just use your imagination. It's a power plant, so it's probably some type of warning light. Back there in the backdrop is my Roberts Printing Company. So this is the new kit. I actually had an old one that this was replacing. Now that the summer is over and the hot days are over, I'm done with the airbrushing. So I'm going to start focusing on some of these kits that I've been working on, but I haven't got around to it. So next couple of weeks, I'll be working on Roberts, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, I have that done and complete. I got a lot of ideas for it, just got to get to it. And another completely new kit structure on the layout you haven't seen. So I've been working on this off and on between some of the weatherizing projects. Technically, this building is done. If you notice that the back wall is taped and being held together by tape. And the reason behind that is because I plan to add some interior to the building. I don't know how much to what level of interior detail I'm going to do with it. That pulls out. Like I said, I'm still working on it, so when I figure out how much I'm going to do to it before I actually finish it and close the wall up, then it'll officially be finished. And I haven't really decided what type of building it's going to be or the name of it. So it'll just be in limbo for a little bit. I like to take my time with these structures. I don't rush to do anything. You know, whenever I get around to it or whatever I decide to do with it, that'll be the case. Yeah, so after working with the wiring, playing around with it, I determined that, no, the wiring wasn't backwards or anything of that nature. It's just because both of those flashers are individuals, and one tend to flash a little faster than others, so that's why they are flashing out of sync. Nothing to do with the wiring or anything being backwards. And I finally did get around to adding that one light for the inside. It's a little brighter than I wanted it to be, but oh well, it ain't too bad. But for now, the grain elevator is completely finished. So there's nothing more else to do to that. Maybe do some touch-ups of something of that nature later on down the line. And on this corner, I did get a jump start on this structure here. So I added this little structure on the corner. I don't know what it is. Just use your imagination. Added some brick for the base of the building. And I'm going to have a few windows blanked out. That's going to be one. And the old doorway is going to be blanked out. I don't know if I'm going to do... I'm thinking maybe brick or just maybe a plain piece of plywood or something of that nature. And then all the top windows are going to be blanked out. But right now it's a little too cold for painting. So I probably won't do too much more to this until the opportunity comes around. So I can get around to do some more painting. But for now, we're going to leave it at that, and we'll see what else we've been working on. So last but not least, so this is train related, but in addition to me being in the model railroad, I've also been into building model cars and planes throughout the years. Mainly like during the years when I didn't have layouts, or even when I did have layouts, I was still working on cars and planes and whatnot. But the SA-365 November, it's always been one of my favorite helicopter models. I actually did 4 in the past. I did 2 in 172nd scale, and then I did 2 in 135th. So this here is a 148th scale by Kitty Hawk. So Kitty Hawk is a new company for me. Well, it's not a new company, but it's a new company I dealt with. I'm really impressed because the kit is highly detailed. It has many parts, and like in the past when I did models, they normally had a lot of molded on parts and, you know, fewer parts, but just everything was molded molded in huge sections. But this has separate nose, like 2 different nose options. It has 3 different compartment door options, and then it has 2 different tail boom options, along with 7 different variations, including the U.S. Coast Guard. And then it comes with guns, missiles, torpedoes, winches, and all that good stuff. My plan is to do a civilian version. I did a Coast Guard version in the past, which I actually never finished that one, but I like the civilian version of this, and that's my intent. And like I said, I'm looking forward to this. I'm actually in a process of doing another one too, UH-1 Huey, because I had one upstairs, and a couple months ago I was cleaning off the shelf that was on and then knocked it on the floor, and you know what happened after that. So that's pretty much toast. So I'm going to do another one, and hopefully that one won't get knocked on the floor and it'll last longer. But like I said, this is my little hobby in addition to building trains and whatnot. It's not train related, but I enjoy building cars, also planes. So for now, bye for now. Continue model, and I'll see you on the next run.